I can't believe I've been on all this time and there's been no sound, which is fine because it means none of you have been missing much. 7 minutes of shit, basically. But that's fine. We can. Thanks for telling me, people who come on. That's fine. So what we're going to do, we'll start again. So how does this signify, and how does this actually? Fuck this shit. 1 minute. 1 minute. Hold that thought. Don't smoke, kids. It's not good for you. Welcome to today's vodcast, blogcast, whatever you want to call it. We've just been airing for 10 minutes and saying silence, so we're starting again. So welcome. We had lost Instagram. We never really had Instagram, but we've lost it. So now we've gained LinkedIn. So if you were on Instagram and you're on LinkedIn or whatever, you're watching there, this is good. This is progress. So I'm going to give you at least five here, five life lessons that will change your perception on life. If you're a man, if you haven't heard of these already, no need to thank me now. Thank me later. If you're a woman, you might want to give your man take lessons because this is where the world is at these days, and you might want to give your man a bit more, just a little bit more. And yeah, so what does it signify when questions arise as to why some may deem it irresponsible to encourage young men to pursue marriage in the modern age? I'm now conscious of the fact that I've been recording and not actually sounding anything, so I'm just going to check that you can hear me. So what does it mean when that happens? What does it mean when ultimately there you go, you can hear me, that's good. So let's look. You might be surprised, you probably aren't surprised, to hear such a statement from someone like me, little old Jason, the apple what's it, from a broken home, fucked up parents, no worse than anyone else's, no doubt. But raised by a two-parent household with three siblings, four siblings, I don't know. But the family was fucked up, dynamics was fucked up, and it was never going to be a perfect outcome for any of us, really. But well, it was, and it is, and it's a story of our own. But that's generally what happened back in the day. Back in the day, a two-parent household would be raised like they'd have nine siblings. That'd be normal. So how could I seemingly support such a disheartening view about the modern man? Well, stay with me if you can, and I'll educate you. Traditionally, um, marriage entailed a certain reciprocity. The woman received protection and provisions from her husband. Should danger threaten, he would defend the home and family at any cost. In return, he managed the finances and often took care of various household repairs. And the gardening, one would expect, as you would expect as well. And that was all part of what the normal household would expect. Yeah, he could look forward to coming home to a bustling household where numerous children and a spouse who not only managed the domestic affairs, but she also supported the farming tasks and perhaps even entertained with the musical talents when they had guests. To understand this exchange, one might compare it to the Amish lifestyle. That's right, you might. Just Google the Amish, a day in the life of the Amish. Yeah, Google that, and then see what you learn. See what you learn. So we jump forward then, from 1989 to 2023-2024, and we observe that the societal expectations of men are to protect and provide for their families, so that hasn't changed. They've ultimately remained the same. But perceptions of women's roles have changed drastically. On average, a woman may bear 2 children and bring personal histories more complex than that of her predecessors. This shift alone has altered the fabric of a marital exchange. Therefore, addressing the current state of marriage, it's not just a union backed by love, but also legislation. Unfortunately, the contemporary marriage narrative often culminates in divorce. In this shared predominantly by women citing a sudden change of heart. The consequences of this can be dire for men who may find themselves financially stripped and forcibly distanced from their children, often through legal obligations reinforced by law enforcement. Critics claim that encouraging young men to enter such an unpredictable and seemingly unjust system is careless, especially considering that a non-negotiable number of men are reportedly subject to false allegations or denied access to their children post-divorce. The discussion barely scratches the public consciousness, and it's overshadowed by other societal narratives. Furthermore, the aftermath for men is frequently tragic. After dedicating decades to building a life, some are left with nothing. In the wake of divorce, an outcome that tragically pushes some to the brink of suicide. Advocates for men's rights highlight this ongoing daily. Yeah, and it's a somber. That's the somber reality in the discourse on marriage. Now, I'm not saying that these men are good people. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm saying that they're. I mean, I've brought many people back from the brink, and then they kick dirt in your face. That's part and parcel of the job, I suppose. But in some, ultimately, such contentions argue that we must reassess the advice that we offer young men regarding marriage, taking into account the present and potential future implications of such a commitment. So women initiate divorce 70-80% of the time. And typically when we look at the reasons for divorce, the men's reasons for divorce are a bit more serious, like a drug problem, or the women is like irreconcilable differences, in they weren't happy. The problem is now that the woman gets to use the kids to steal from the man, the lifetime of work that he's done. Now what we have is other men, so the police, the government, putting a gun to this guy's head and saying, give her money, otherwise you go to jail. Or, basically, fine, gonna go to jail. Yeah, why it's irresponsible to tell young men to get laid, get married, earn your life working for a corporate company, getting tax loads, and then you're basically going to get rewarded. The other side's going to get rewarded and paid to accuse the man of all sorts of stuff, like rape, abuse, and there are government incentives for all of this. Yeah, it would be considered negligent to issue a product that destroyed someone's life. Do you not think? So why are we encouraging men to get married? Why are we celebrating? Why do men celebrate getting married? Why? I don't know. But they do still. I mean, 5% of the time, I would argue that it's probably much higher than 5%, to be honest with you. Every guy that I know, seeming to know, that has been falsely accused or can't see his kids. But there's women out there as well. And there's a couple of mums that I'm working with that they're getting the short straw as well, and that's again because they're not English in my view. They're overseas. So the media doesn't sort of really care about men's issues. Let's be honest. So you'll never hear about it in the papers, in the news. So a lot of the time, men go through this process alone and broken. And you have to think about what these guys go through. So they all lose their money, and I'm speaking from experience. I'm hopefully going to show people that you can rebuild and take on the world, and you can still win, and nothing's going to take you back. They lose their kids, and a lot of the times they're accused of abuse, and everybody thinks they're an abuser. Don't get me wrong. There's not much you can't do that isn't abusive. Yeah, and if you are going through the motions and you are going through family court, you will be well versed to know that you can't even pick your nose without it being abusive. Yeah, especially if it offended or upset your ex-missus, who left you 12 months before she decided to leave you 12 months ago, before you actually broke up physically. She left you emotionally, but didn't tell you that she left you emotionally. She left you to figure that out by yourself. And while you're trying to figure out what's going on and you're trying to hold the relationship together, you're then going to get accused of coercive controlling behavior and being abusive and being frustrated. What the hell? So then they come out of this really distraught. The average age for divorce for a man is already 6 times, like basically 20. I think it was 36. The average age is 46. No, 46. It was 46. The average age for divorce for a man is 46. So by that time, he's probably spent about 20 years of his life just building up to this state, like with this one chick, one bird, one woman, and because she doesn't want to be with him anymore, she has the right to ruin it, his whole life. Now, a lot of times, men do commit suicide. I think we've got better over recent years at trying to support people, but people still do kill themselves. This is a very taboo and sad topic, but men go through this and they go crazy and kill themselves. You talk to any men's rights advocate, speak to me. I've been doing this for 10 years, 11 years now, soon. Any person that's worked with men, and there's people that we are celebrating on the Man Link page and our website when it gets up and running properly. We will be celebrating all people, all businesses, all small businesses, all large businesses, mainly the small businesses that support men rebuild their lives going through after a traumatic experience. Yeah, and that's what the Man Link is going to be there for. And ultimately, any man has worked hard trying to get access to their children. A lot of them, like I say, will kill themselves. So women are literally paid to steal men's kids. That's where we are at today. That's where we are literally at. Literally paid to steal the men's kids. This quandary poses a vital question. What are today's young men truly signing up for when they say, I do? The crux of the argument is not against the institution of marriage itself, but rather the caution against entering into such a binding contract without fully understanding the contemporary risks and the societal structure that one might argue appears to be disproportionately disfavour men. And in the event of a marital dispute or family breakdown, you're going to be fucked. But it's okay. Let's celebrate the day that you end your life financially and everything you work for and live for is not there anymore. The concern has to be that men are entering into a union where the scales of benefit and sacrifice have tipped and not always in their favour. Advocates for a more judicious approach to marriage argue that while societal expectations of men have remained relatively static, the legal system and cultural norms surrounding marriage and divorce have shifted massively, often leaving men in precarious positions. And that's not normally with their work, probably can be with their pants down, but it's not always. In fact, very few of the times it's because of the stereotypical man is not the stereotypical man. The modern man is not your stereotypical, whatever you call it, that type thing. Oh, I'm a man. It's not. I don't believe that is. I think the modern man doesn't know what the fuck to do. Yeah. Let's just go back. I digress again. Sorry. The financial and emotional impacts are profound. Yeah, men may find themselves their efforts to build a family and a home can be disseminated, dismantled, like within the legal system, quite easily, very easily. Yeah, child custody disputes combined with financial obligations, such as like paying for your solicitor if you're stupid enough to, if you, I don't know, if you're stupid enough to pay for a solicitor, then obviously your legal fees. If you're sensible, then yes, it will cost you a little bit of money using my services or anyone else's services that you may find on the man shop that suits your fancy, floats your boat. Maybe your location, maybe type of culture that they within that business that suits you more. But there will be a business that offers some sort of family court service, Mackenzie friend service, support service, relationship building service with your kids, whatever it might be, rebuilding your life, coaching, all that sort of stuff, as well as technology and clothes and that sort of stuff you're going to buy as well, all in one place. That's going to be available on the manshop.link. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is you've got to combine child custody disputes combined with financial obligations, such as legal fees and child support, enforced under a threat of legal penalties, can leave men not only bereft, but also branded socially wrongdoers, irrespective of the truth of such claims. Like literally, irrespective of anything anyone says, like you can go into court and you can argue that you're innocent and you know you're speaking the truth, and you still get found that you're not being taken seriously because you might smoke a bit of weed or you've done some cocaine or whatever, or you've got whatever the case might be. You're going to get you have to jump through so many hoops to prove that you're not the person that they try and make out you are. Yeah, and that's not to say that we don't go to family court not perfect, because fucking hell, there's no one that I work with that goes into family court with me saying that they're perfect, because we're not. There's no one in this world that is perfect. Yeah, but what I do believe is this conversation extends into the broader implications for mental health. The silent epidemic of male suicide in the context of marital breakdowns is one of the many dark truths that are seldom discussed in the public forum. These tragedies point to an urgent need for society to address and rethink the support systems available to men undergoing such life-altering crises, which is why I've designed, or we're working on building, the manshop.link, where you can go to get all of your support that you need from a variety of different support services that are designed specifically for men, as well as other things, tech, clothes, and that sort of stuff. That's why that's being created. So basically, the narrative suggests that a new paradigm, I don't say the word, is needed. One that offers a balanced, fair, and equitable approach to marriage and its potential fallout. Young men, it is argued, should be fully informed of these perspectives and the realities that they face, to make choices that are not just rooted in tradition and emotion, but also in awareness of potential toll of the modern marital commitment. It is not only about protecting the interests of men, also about striving for equity in one of society's most cherished institutions. Such a reconsideration aims not to dissuade from marriage, but to encourage entering into such commitments with eyes wide open and all systems in place that offer protection and fairness for all parties involved. This, I call for a frank reassessment of marriage marriage's place in the lives of young men. It's not an indictment of championship or a rejection of the notion of a lifelong love. Instead, it is about confronting the potential for systemic inequalities that can arise within the legal framework of marriage and its dissolution. Advocates maintain that premarital education and realistic discussions on the dynamics of modern relationships are crucial. There is a massive plea for societal structures, especially the legal apparatus governing all family relations, to adopt the times that we're living in. The times that we're living in should say it does not equal. It should be presumed equal shared care, unless the families can't do that because of work commitments or whatever. But it's not still, and you don't have professionals recommending that, even though it should be presumed that. Ensuring equitable treatment and protecting against the abuses that can leave one party vulnerable or exploited. The imbalance highlighted by these conversations isn't solely a men's issue, it's a societal issue that resonates with the core principles of justice and fairness in partnership. Yeah, it's about advocating for a system that respects the contributions and rights of every individual. Yeah, it's about questioning whether the transformation of marital norms has kept pace with the evolution of gender roles and expectations. Can a system rooted in historical roles pivot to acknowledge and accommodate the modern tapestry of family structures and personal identities without bias? Proponents for change suggest that it's imperative for young men to develop a keen understanding of only the interpersonal, not of only the interpersonal, but also the legal realities of marriage. Yeah, they advocate for negotiation tools like prenuptial agreements to become normalized, and for robust support systems to assist those navigating the potentially turbulent waters of divorce, particularly when it comes to maintaining relationships with one's children. In essence, these discussions beckon a more nuanced approach to understanding marriage and masculinity within the contemporary world. The dialogue invites society to shift from the romanticization of marriage as an unexamined ideal for a more pragmatic view that recognizes the complexities of modern life. Far from seeking to dismantle the institution, this perspective yearns for its fortification through fairness and the fostering of a genuine partnership, thereby ensuring that the marriage remains a source of strength and joy for all parties involved. Thus, the narrative challenges us to redefine the model of marriage for the future. It isn't about discrediting or undermining the values that have held the family unit together, but rather fortifying them against the pressures and pitfalls that have emerged in our evolving society. The thrust of this discourse invites policymakers, legal professionals, and society at large to deliberate on how we can protect all individuals within a marriage, ensuring that responsibility and the potential for personal devastation are not disproportionately shouldered by one party over the other. In the end, the aim it has to be to provide young men and women too with a transparent view of the marital landscape. It's about painting a realistic picture of the roles, risks, and rewards. It's about empowering individuals with knowledge and strategies that can build resilient partnerships capable of withstanding the challenges of modern life. Preparation then comes paramount, addressing issues like financial literacy, effective communication, conflict resolution, and even exploring the psychological aspects of commitment could become standard components of a new societal approach to marriage. In doing so, couples can lay a stronger foundation for their future together, with each party feeling valued and protected. The overarching message is about balance. It's about crafting relationships where both partners feel secure to invest fully, knowing that their contributions are equally important and that the law will treat them as such in both unity and division. It's about moving forward into a new era of marriage where the ethos of partnership sustains the love. Well, it sustains individual. It's right. So it's just sustain the individual as much as the couple, aligning love with the fairness and ensuring that the bonds of the marriage are strong, just as and flexible enough to support the needs of diverse and complex life that we lead. In this transformed view, we are not just encouraging young men to be more cautious of marriage, but rather to be more conscious of conscious architects of the marital journey itself, equipped to foster a union that mirrors the best aspects of partnership in the modern world, where equality, fairness, and mutual respect serve as the foundation for enduring love. Amid quietude of the quietude of when no one disturbs your slumber of a morning, when evenings pass without the soul of waiting your return, when the whole world is your oyster, what names does this existence take? We are romancing freedom or courting loneliness, contentment. You see, it's not in the relentless pursuit, but in the serene appreciation for the minimal. True freedom transcends the physical confines, lying equally in the realms of thought and belief. The most skillful person understands this. Is it freedom or is it loneliness? The most skillful prison is one where the captive remains blissfully unaware of their shackles. Happiness, as such, hangs by the slender thread of perception. A man's misery is as deep as his beliefs it is to be. Dwelling in the past births depression. Restlessly peering into the future seeds anxiety. Yet serenity blooms when we anchor ourselves in the present soil, live in the now. When the freedom to shape your mornings and nights as you please confronts you, and you stand at the crossroads of autonomy and isolation, the interpretation lies within your grasp. Is this liberty, or is this solitary confinement of the soul? Moving into the dance of partnership, the subtle, what's that open? The subtle, oh, the subtle cues of emotional connection become pivotal. Imagine a partner returns home where wariness etched into their being, seeking solace in your company. A bid for a connection. How you respond to dismiss or to welcome can either weave closeness or unravel the threads of a relationship. These micro moments build the bridge of intimacy or become the silent harbingers of a relationship's gradual unraveling, prospectively leading to betrayal or wandering affections born of emotional neglect. In the context of familial aspirations, there lies a deep responsibility should one choose to bring new life into the fold. The owed due diligence is to provide an upbringing steeped in unity and care, a stark contrast to the scars of contention, interestingly. It is suggested that many dissolutions of matrimony can be foreseen within these disregarded bids of connection. Recognizing our own human fallibility, marriage vows are transformed into pacts of unyielding support. To stand by someone through the revelation of their darkest selves requires a courage that many pledge but not all embody. The fear lurks: if my partner knew the fullness of my being, would they flee? This vulnerability at the heart of the union necessitates an all or nothing commitment, confronting the inevitability of personal flaws. Life is an intricate dance of authenticity and attachment, and the loss of self in an attempt to belong will ultimately prove fleeting. The conundrum is to balance the raw truth of our essence with the desire for connection, allowing relationships and inner peace to blossom. Turning to societal canvases, let's not forget the profound impact of family bonds. A generation grows in the shadow of a parental discord, often misled by silent battles and unspoken agonies. In hindsight, recognizing the mud from which criticism sprouted can lead to depths of remorse. A grandmother reflecting on her grandchild's loss, a mother or father's pondering the turning points that might have swayed a child from the brink of despair. This dialogue implores us to recognize the humanity in addiction, not a monstrous deviation, but a personal solace sought against unresolved inner turmoil. It is a call to explore the pain's genesis, tracing back to the developmental narratives that shape one's approach to life and its myriad of challenges. And in the often tricky journey of intimate bonds, we are reminded that detachment can masquerade as bonds, self-preservation. A paradox of closeness incites withdrawal as self-sabotage. We back away from as relationships deepen, confusing intimacy for a burden rather than a treasure or to be cherished. Bearing the weight of these insights, we are charged with the profound task of maintaining the delicate equilibrium of being our authentic selves while nurturing the bonds that tether us to others. It is a testament to the resilient human spirit that even in this labyrinth of life's trials and triumphs, we seek connection, understanding that the shared warmth of mutual regard. Balancing this self-awareness with the pursuit of mutual connection, we confront difficult truths. The sage advice to families grapples with the dichotomy of support and attachment, guiding us between the rationality of self-preservation and the altruism of compassionate association. It highlights the folly in efforts to change someone who is unwilling. Instead, one must decide between the pain of staying or the hurt of consequences and lessons learned within it. With reflection comes the realization that we subtly communicate much more, though, through our actions and inactions. A relationship, therefore, is not only a harbour of affection, but equally a mirror reflecting our nuances of our conduct. It is a perpetual dance, sometimes harmonious, often complicated, always instructive. The arc of personal development reaches far beyond the boundaries of romantic entanglements. The commitment to personal growth and growth in intentional act, not a facade, is profound as a profound journey toward becoming the best version of oneself. When your aspirations align with your actions, a sense of congruence infuses life, giving purpose and direction. This narrative explores the landscape of the human condition, our desires for love, our struggles with our demons, the quest for meaning, and the circuits of joy and sorrow that map our lives. These conversations are a reminder that the true currency of our existence is found in our authentic interactions, the moments of vulnerability and emotional courage, and our willingness to embrace the complexities of the human soul. As we advance through the twists and turns of our own stories, we are asked to pause and consider the wakes that we leave behind. The impact of our own presence, or the absence thereof, ripples through the lives of others in ways that we may never fully grasp, but must always consider with the gravity and grace. Ultimately, this journey through ponderings and reflections culminates in a call to embrace the multifaceted nature of life, exhorting us to navigate with compassion and wisdom. It invites us to a deeper understanding that while we cannot always control the direction of the wind, we possess the innate power to adjust our sails and balance life's gales with the soft whispers of our innermost desires and truths. Herein lies our charge, our challenge, and our greatest opportunity to conjointly cultivate the garden of our shared humanity with both the prudence of mind and the tenderness of heart. Continuing with this challenge, we recognize that the navigation through life's complexities requires an unwavering commitment to both individuality and community. It requires that we maintain our integrity even when it's tested by the forces of adversity and change. To thrive, not just survive, means to hold fast one's core values while remaining flexible and responsive to the shifting of dynamics of relationships and society. In this ongoing dialogue with the self and others, we often discover that the most profound human experiences arise from the matrix where love, authenticity, and resilience intersect. To love deeply, to remain true to oneself, and yet to emerge resilient in the wake of life's tribulations is to capture the essence of our shared journey. This narrative speaks to the essence of life's paradoxes. To find freedom within commitments, to achieve unity without sacrificing individuality, and to exercise strength in moments of vulnerability, it is a reminder that the anchor of our existence is not found in rigid structures, but our ability to flow with the currents of life's rivers, sometimes meandering, sometimes turbulent, but always moving forward. We are nudged gently toward the understanding that our lives are not merely a collection of isolated incidents, but a tapestry woven from threads of decisions, emotions, and connections. The colours may fade, the threads may fray, but the beauty of the tapestry lays within its enduring design, shaped by each hand that touches it, and every life it envelopes. Against the backdrop of these musings, we are invited to step into a realm of personal and collective evolution with courage and an open heart. To engage with life so wholly demands a depth of character and a spirit of adventure that sees beyond the immediate and infinite possibilities that await. In conclusion, the discourse articulated here extends in an invitation to cast a compassionate, introspective gaze upon the human condition. It calls us forth to be the architects of our destinies, co-creators in our world that values both the grandeur and our dreams and the practical steps required to realize them. It is an appeal to align our deepest truths with our highest aspirations, weaving together the strands of connection, understanding, and love that bind us all in shared pursuit of a meaningful, fulfilled life. And if you made it this far, well done you, because I didn't think I was going to make it this far. But I think as part of my new sort of like preppy posh look, is that like my preppy posh look? So ultimately, I went to Hertford this morning, and the guy I was with there was amazing. He was really, really good, and the judge recognised me as well. My dashing good looks, obviously, and I made an effort, especially for her. I didn't. It was the first thing that I just wanted to wear something different than a parka, because the client that I was seeing, I wanted him to get the right impression of me. So I put on a jacket that wasn't a parka, and it was almost snowing outside. But he smashed the crap out of that. He'd done a really good job, and that's the point. He didn't have to. He didn't. He shouldn't. He would have been paid. He would have been charged. He said he would have been charged thousands. And literally, the solicitor on the other side was just going through the motions just to make their money. It's crazy. It's crazy. Once you can see the pattern, you can't unsee it. And I just wish more people could have the faith as what this guy had today. And me wearing my preppy sort of jacket as well. And doing a live without my hat on, with my bad hair. And look at them suitcases. Been working hard. And everyone's like, oh, Jason, you need to slow down. You need to get some rest. The one bit of advice I would say that I agree with this last week that I've had, I would say it'd be that I need to be lying down on a bed rather than a chair. But right now I'm cool with it because I'm on a mission and I'm on a journey. And that's why I want to bring everyone together and get all support services that support men. It doesn't have to be predominantly men, but you might offer services that you can massage into being just for men. And what I want to do is bring everyone together, so where we have people who can select variety of different services and businesses, all small businesses that support men. Some of them can be charities. I have no issue with charities. In fact, everyone deserves recognition. Anyone who takes time out of their day to support someone else other than themselves, they deserve love, and they deserve recognition, and they deserve to be promoted. And that is exactly what the manshop.link is going to do, and it is planning on doing that, and is doing that. The website isn't fully finished, but then I was that it's been at that same standard. It's been at that same standard that it is now for about 4 weeks, and I'm trying to do stuff in the background to make the links work. But I'm not very good at WordPress, but I'm learning, and that's all you can do. And that's what I'm doing. That's inspired by my daughter, who is reading lots of books. I won't read books. Part of the impatience in me, I think I just can't read the books. I listen to music, and I will listen to audible or to get told the story, but I won't read the books. Like that. But part of what I've been listening to or reading has been about confidence and inner confidence and self-value and self-love. And I think that's where people are going to be seeing the biggest change in me over this next 12 months. It's going to be in my own self-confidence and my own believe in oneself. Because it's nice when I speak to people, and that's why I've done this live tonight, actually, because I was speaking on someone on the phone earlier, and he said something really nice, and I was like, oh, it's really nice. Thank you for saying that. And I actually took on board the compliment that he gave me, acknowledged the compliment, and actually took it for what it was. And he seemed sincere when he said it. So I have no reason not to take it on board and be thankful and grateful. And I'm grateful to everybody out there. And I'm even talking about what are they called? That guy. Oh, I can't remember his name now. Andrew Tonti. I'm even talking about Tiki. I'll even if he's got a charity, I'll even celebrate his stuff. And I want to send him my deepest apologies. I send him lots of love. I don't know if he wants to receive that or not, but I don't know. But ultimately, anyone who is that I've worked with in the past that doesn't that's gone off to do their own thing, let me know, and I'm quite happy share your links or try and get you put you onto my website as well and promote your services because you deserve respect. And I apologise for not respecting what you were doing enough before. That's to anyone that I've probably over the years unintentionally disrespected or upset. I give you love and I come and share your services, and maybe it might even be a small business. Maybe you might even be not even done it yet. Maybe you're thinking about doing it. I'm speaking to somebody earlier, one of my guys earlier. He was saying, "Oh, he thinks he can go and help people, blah blah blah." And I say, "Good, let's do it. And I'll set up a business. You have little pockets of people doing it. You're building your own thing. The more people that are out supporting people, and that doesn't have to be just men. You can be women supporting women. Yeah, it can be grandparents supporting grandparents, aunts, whatever the fuck ever. Yeah, ultimately, if people are supporting people, we need more of that, much more. Yeah, and don't forget, it's the MackenzieFriend.net, MackenzieFriend.net, the Mackenzie Friend Network. Mackenzie Friend. Let me check. I better check actually. I don't want to get that wrong. That'd be really stupid, wouldn't it? That'd be fucking embarrassing. Phil Kedges, the mighty Mackenzie Friend Network. I'm sure that's what it is. So we've got, yeah, that's what it is. That is what it is. Woo-hoo. The Mackenzie Friend UK Network. Yeah, that's our Mackenzie Friend family law firm, father's man, the man's shop, Mackenzie Friend firm of the month for January 2024, the Mackenzie Friend Network. Phil Kedge, and I love, and he's got his new video out that's reviewing 2023, and he, for me, as bad as this might sound to some people, he is an inspiration to me, and I would love to be able to have his experience and knowledge because I think he's brilliant, and that's why they are our first ever celebratory small business of men's support. And then we've got Father's Rights UK group, 128 members. That's on the group, but we've got also I don't ask you daily so much. I've already told you, no matter how much it hurts you, I need to use you as a tool to hurt your father. That there says it all. But there you go. Can't see it anyway. I'm going to let you all go because it has been an hour and I've fucked around the first bit, but I need to get better at that. But it's just me being authentic and it's just me being real and it's just me being me and being vulnerable and being proud to be vulnerable and being proud to not be perfect and to be proud to just doing what I'm doing, and anyone else who's doing things to support others and giving love and helping the world in a nice way, you should be proud to. Peace and love, everybody. Lions Glove.